This question is asking us about operations on rational expressions. It says for all real numbers x such that x does not equal 0, what is the resulting rational expression for 4 divided by 7 plus 5 divided by x? All right, so we're being asked to add two fractions, and in order to add fractions, we must have a common denominator. So when we look at the denominators here, one is 7 and one is x. And you can only achieve a common denominator through multiplication. So we're really looking at what's the smallest term that 7 and x would multiply up to. So in this case, that's just going to be 7 times x. The two of them multiplied together is going to be our common denominator. All right, so in order to do so, we need to multiply each fraction by what's necessary to get to that common denominator. So let's rewrite what we have. We have 4 over 7 plus 5 over x. And we're trying to figure out what does that equal when we add that together. Okay, so we said the common denominator is 7x. So what does this denominator need to get 7x? Well, it needs an x. But in order to keep the values all the same, we're going to multiply by x over x, which is really multiplying by 1. And when you multiply by 1, it doesn't change the value. So that's why this works. So on the top, x times 4, we can write as 4x. On the bottom, x times 7, we can write as 7x. Okay, we need to do similar with the 5 over x, but this denominator needs a 7. So we're going to multiply by 1 again in the form of 7 divided by 7. All right, so the numerator, 5 times 7 is 35, and x times 7 is 7x. All right, we're adding those two, and now that we have a common denominator, we can add those two fractions, and the denominator is going to stay the same. That's going to remain the 7x. And in the numerator, 4x plus 35, we can't combine those because one has an x and one does not, so they're not like terms. So our numerator just remains 4x plus 35. So after adding the two, we get 4x plus 35 divided by 7x, and we can find that solution in selection K.